guys, it's Miss Cece. So you know that we've been learning about camp and different summer activities and just fun things to do in the summer. So for my whole life when I was growing up until I started working at Cornerstone, I either went to camp or I worked at camp. And then I did a lot with Girl Scouts, so we did a lot with camping during the year. And one of my favorite things was making campfires and kind of like learning about different ways to make campfires and do different camping skills. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna learn how to make edible campfires, which is pretty cool. So it's just using different kinds of foods to make a pretend campfire. But then we're also gonna see what else we can do with the foods, because food is kind of fun to experiment with. You can smell it and taste it, but you can touch it and you can see if it makes different noises, and you can do all kinds of fun stuff, all right? So for our fire, the first one we're gonna make, we talk about there being like 3 different kinds of wood that you would use. So we're gonna get our 3 different kinds of wood and we're gonna put them into our wood pile over here so they're nice and safe, okay? So the first kind of wood that you need when you're making a fire is called tinder. And if it was real sticks, it would be things that are smaller than your pinky finger that catch on fire really fast. So we have some potato sticks here that we're gonna use as our tinder. So if you had potato sticks and you could taste it, and you would see that it's salty and it's crunchy. And we can look at them, they're kind of like yellowish brown. And they're fun because if you hold it, they snap really easy. So it makes a little noise, but it's kind of fun to feel how it snaps. So we're gonna put some of our potato sticks over here in our wood pile. And those are gonna be our tinder for when we make our fire. The next biggest kind of wood, if it was real, it's called kindling, and it would be like bigger than our pinky, but still not too much bigger than our thumb. So this is just pretend, it's not that big. But I have some licorice sticks, and if you had something like this, if you smell it, it smells pretty sweet. We can see that it's red, and if you pull it, it stretches. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you see that? If I pull it too much, I think it's gonna break. Let's see what happens, how much it broke. But that was pretty fun, it stretched pretty far. If we could taste it, we would see that it's sweet. And you can use these to make different shapes. I could make it into a circle. I could make a triangle. So there's kind of cool stuff you can do with them. We don't want to waste food that you have at home, but if you have a little bit of food to play around with, it can be kind of fun. All right, so we're gonna put some of our kindling over here in our pile. And then the biggest kind of wood that kind of keeps the fire going, that's called fuel. Usually that would be like bigger than your arm. So we have these big pretzel sticks. Pretzel sticks are fun because you can use them as drumsticks. You can play songs with them. You can bang them together. Hear that noise? If you can see it, if you look up close, you can see all the salt on it. So if you taste it, here I'm gonna break off a little piece and taste. You can see that it's salty and it's crunchy. If you hold it in your 2 hands and you snap it, it makes a lot of noise because it's breaking. So we're gonna break some of our fuel because it's kind of big. So we're gonna break it. Sometimes when you're making a fire, you have to break up your wood to get it to be the right size. So we have all that over. Can you see our wood pile? Here. It's hard to see in the video. All right, here's our wood pile. We're gonna put it over on the side here so it'll be ready for us. When you make a fire, you want to make sure you have a nice clear space. Like if this was grass, we wouldn't want to just light a fire in the middle of the grass. That wouldn't be safe. So we would clear away all the grass, and then we would do something to block off our fire so we know that it's a safe spot. So we're going to use marshmallows. Marshmallows are fun because they're nice and squishy. You can squish them with your fingers. You could build with them. If we wanted to get really fancy, we could build with the marshmallows. It kind of broke. But the marshmallows and potato sticks, like you do with marshmallows and toothpicks, you can build things. See how it's sticking into the marshmallows there? You can make a cool little statue. All right, we'll put that to the side now, because right now we're gonna make a circle with our marshmallows. So I'm gonna put them around here. And this will be our fire circle. So if anybody's coming around our campsite near our fire, they're gonna know. You have to be really careful if you go near those marshmallows because fire is really hot. And it's kind of fun to make fires and to cook food in them, but they can really hurt you if you're not careful. So it's important to be really safe. So we made our circle here with our marshmallows. So this is our fire circle. When you're making a fire, you always need to have some water nearby, all right? So we have some water in this cup, so just in case we need to put out our fire, we have that. All right, so what we're gonna do for our fire, we're gonna start with the big wood. This was our fuel. We're gonna make a frame with it. There we go. So our frame, can you tell what letter it looks like? It's backwards to you. Let's do it this way. Our frame looks like the letter A, all right? And that's good because it has some space under there. So all around our letter A, we're gonna put some of our little tinder because that's what's gonna make it catch on fire. So we'll put it all around here. There's lots of different ways to make a fire. So you don't have to make it this way. But this is a way that we learned in Girl Scouts that works sometimes. All right, and then some of your bigger wood you can kind of put around there. So then when you are ready to light your fire, you would stick your match down under here and all these little pieces of tinder would catch on fire and they would burn for long enough that then they would catch the kindling on fire and then they would catch the fuel on fire and you would keep, once all the little stuff is burning, you would keep adding some of the bigger stuff, and if your fire is really big, you would keep adding more fuel to it, right? And it would keep burning and you would have flames on it. Whoa! These are little cinnamon candies that we were using as our flame because cinnamon, it's spicy, just like a fire, it's hot. But these are fun to play with because you can squish them. And then once you squish it, you can stretch it out. They're kind of fun to play with. See how stretchy it is? Yeah. So that was one way we could make a fire. And we could play with the different things in it. But there's also other ways. You don't have to buy this stuff to make a fire. You can make a fire with whatever you have in your house. So we're gonna play with this stuff more, but I was just gonna show you some other things that you could use. Like maybe, I just looked at what I had in my refrigerator. So I had some blueberries. So I went blueberry picking, it's blueberry season. So you could make your fire circle with blueberries. Look at that. Blueberries are fun to eat, but they're also really squishy. So you know we like to play with things, so you could take a blueberry and you could squish and things start squirting out of it. I'm gonna eat it so it doesn't make a mess. All right, so there's our blueberry fire circle. And maybe for this one, for our big logs, our fuel, we could use carrot sticks, right? So we'll make our frame with our carrots. And carrots, we know, are really crunchy. Let's see if it'll break if I go like this. No, but we can go. You know how loud that is? They're a different color. They're orange. Blueberries are blue. The carrots are orange. And then we could use some of our celery, which is green, to kind of put around it, right? So this is like our kindling. We had a different kind of wood pile with this time. And we could use some coconut to be our tinder. So the little pieces of coconut, they're really small and they're soft. They make a quiet noise if you go like this. You hear that quiet noise? Yeah. So we can put some of that in there, right? And then we would light our fire, right? We'll pretend our potato sticks a match. We'll light our fire, we'll stick it under there. We'll catch some of that tinder on fire, right? That coconut, and then it's gonna start lighting the celery and we'll keep adding to it. And then we would have a fire there. Here, we'll put some, see? We'll show you that it worked. It's got flames, yay! So those are two of our fires that are just kind of like a fun way to learn about doing it. But now we have all these things that we can play with too. So we have all different colors. Let's see how many colors we have. We had our green celery. We had our orange carrot. We had our blue, purplish blueberries. We have some white coconut. We have our red cinnamon hearts. We have white marshmallows. So we had two white things, white marshmallows and white coconut. And then we had our red licorice, just like our red cinnamon hearts. And then we have brown pretzels, and we have yellowish, brownish potato sticks. So we wouldn't want to go in our house and just take like a whole bag of pretzel sticks and start playing with them, because that wouldn't be good. But if you're already making something like this and then you have some pretzel sticks out, then you can see what you can do with all the different things. So maybe we also have our water. Maybe I want to see what happens when I put my celery in the water. Let's see. Oh, it sunk. See that? It went to the bottom of the water. What else can we play with? We could do our pretzel stick and build something with our celery. So we're gonna balance the pretzel on the celery and then balance a marshmallow on top of that. And then maybe we can put a little flag on top of it. So these are all just different things that we can do. So we can use our hands in different ways, right? To pick up my pretzel, I'm holding it like this. To pick up my celery, maybe I can hold it like this because it's bigger. To pick up my potato sticks, I'm gonna hold it like this. We can use our hands, we can use our noses. We smelled all of our things, we tasted them. And remember, they tasted different. So like the licorice tasted sweet, the marshmallow tasted sweet, the coconut tasted sweet, but the pretzel tasted salty. And the potato sticks tasted salty. And then our carrots and our celery, they didn't taste sweet or salty. They just have kind of their own taste, and they're nice and crunchy. They make that crunchy sound when you chew them. Okay? So, if you ever go camping, now you know a way to build a fire, but you also have some ideas of different things that maybe you can do with some foods that you have in your kitchen. All right? So I hope you had fun, and we'll see you soon, okay? Bye.